The importance of mind. From mind, the perceived reality is created. What our thoughts are, the quality of them, the quantity of them, the frequency of them, the changeability of them. All of that decides what gets manifested in our life. Yogically speaking now, sadhakally speaking now, sadhana-wise, paying attention and understanding what is happening not just in our conscious mind but in our subconscious mind is vital. Now the mind will say, but that is the unconscious part. That is the subconscious part. How will I access that? Or it is fine. I feel fine. I think fine. Nothing is happening there. Just out here, things are not proper. When we find that things are not proper out here, means that there is a certain thought, there is a certain emotion, there is a certain block located in the subconscious mind. Oftentimes, we also feel that once the subconscious mind is clear, that means there will be no problems, no challenges, no nothing on the outside. And if there are, then there is a problem. That is not the case. In the third dimension, there will always be flux. There will always be ups, there will always be downs, there will always be waxing, there will always be waning, there will always be day, there will always be night. How you respond to that day, the night, the flux, the up, the down, the in, the out, is the deciding point. When we are still able to be all right, at peace, pleasant, caring, loving, caring not in the "Ay mera bachcha," not in that sense. Karuna is not niceness, it's not super cuddling, it's not super coddling, it's not luxurious. Karuna is what is in the betterment of the soul. If a child wants to go touch fire, you will pick up that child and pull him away. At that point in time, the child will feel like, you stopped me from getting that thing. I wanted to touch that. I hate you. But in the child's eyes at that point in time, you're not nice. You're not kind also. You're terrible because you stopped me. But you know, in the betterment of that child, had he touched in the fire, had he fallen into that fire, then what would have happened? Because you can see from a distance. You can see from experience what fire does. You know. So then you pull back the child. Let him kick and scream at that time. I'm sorry. But so having that bhav, now regardless whether the other person likes you or not, whether they appreciate you or not, whether they care for you or not, whether they hate you at that time or not, this is good. This is productive, not just on a personal level. It has to go much beyond that. It has to be on a universal level. This interaction, after that, am I going to be emitting vibes of positivity or will it become negative? Will I start with, but why and how and this and that, and then for the next 12 hours, that's what I'm emitting in the cosmos. Ye karuna nahi. Being able to let go of the situation, being able to let go of the conversation, of the words said, of whatever it is, that is part of our work. Being able to become neutral enough to see things, okay, fine. It's not personal. He did not attack me or did not say something or this thing. Something was happening in the person's day. It is fine, whatever. If it becomes a habit, okay, the person's not able to deal with this thing. They're a little empty right now. That is also being able to see things for what they are without our projections onto it. Being able to see things with all neutrality. Being able to see things compassionately and not getting over-involved also without attachments. All this is part of the journey. All this is part of the work. All this is part of the practice. To say one day we wake up and we are fine, we are bliss. And then we will stay at that point throughout. निरंतर करना पड़ता है, रोज नहाना पड़ता है, रोज खाना खाना पड़ता है. If we evolve to the point where we do not require food any longer, we do not require movement any longer, or this and that, then that is another story. That is another level. That is for another day. But on a normal everyday life, constant cultivation, constant practice, when we don't use a muscle, it atrophies. When we don't move about, then circulation stops. The same thing. Working on the subconscious mind is no different. Working on our thoughts and emotions is no different. Sometimes, more often than not, the help of another person showing this to you. So the entire world is showing the state of being as is. But our attention is still not coming to the root cause of the problem. We just see the problem. We're not seeing how we are creating it. The person has not called me. They don't care for me. They are neglecting me. Or this thing, do I mean so little to them? This is the mind starts. Narayan, Narayan. Being able to see, wait, am I too attached? Am I expecting? Am I demanding? How is my self-worth? How is my self-esteem? How is my focus on my life, on what I'm doing right now? Is this time that nobody is paying attention to me? Is this time for me to go inside because I'm not paying attention to myself? I'm expecting others to be concerned, but I'm not being concerned with myself. Seeing the options, seeing the other perspective, seeing not as in the right and the wrong perspective or the your and the my perspective. There's 360 degrees plus another spherical amount of degrees to be perceived. It's not 1 and 5 also. That entire process is what we work on. It's a slow process. It can be a fast process. It depends on how willing and how much open we are to allowing things to happen. Mind it.